So hi everybody and welcome back to the Unreal Engine 5 full game tutorial series for absolute beginners. This video 54, and in this video we continue to talk about the trace, because in my last video I showed you in my character that we can use the trace. And what was the trace again? So when I go here, that I press a button and then we should have trace. And the problem was in my last video I used a tick, right? And it's not a real problem. You can use a tick, but most of the time you should try to avoid it. And when you use it, like me, then just use it so that it is not fired every frame. And you can see we have implemented here this strange system. So when I press the button, that was this kind of stuff. I press F, skill is set, and the branch is here active, and then we have here do once node, that this one has to be reset as well, and so on, and then we fire our trace. But still it is a tick. And now there are alternatives, perhaps even better ways. I don't know even why I started this with the tick. Actually, perhaps it was night and I thought, hey, why not, I just make a prototype. Prototype means all time the first idea which comes in my mind, I just do it, and it's not the best actually. And now we have to correct this a little bit. And how we correct it, the first correction we can use is, instead of a tick, which is here absolute complicated, why not just call here a custom event? So when I press here the button, for example here, instead calling all the mechanics here with the tick, let's make it here all the tick, instead of using all this tick logic here which I implemented here in my last video and I showed you that, why not just skip this tick here and let's create here a custom event. I called it here skill 1 attack. Let's call this also skill 1 attack. I don't know where that is. I thought I have it, perhaps not. Anyway, we right click here, custom event, add custom event. And then let's call it, attack 1 clicked. Let's call it attack 1 clicked. Then you connect this one. So you see, I avoid the whole process with the tick. And now I just call this custom event with just a press here. So here is a button. I hope you know how to get a button right now. You just right click, press right keyboard, then it pops up here this keyboard symbol. Click any one, and to choose the right one you can scroll and find it, or easy way, go here to details panel, select here this gizmo, and if it's yellow then you can click on your keyboard any value, key, and then let's say I make it O, and then it is automatically this one. And now after I have my key which I want press, then I just call this one here. So let's call it attack 1 skill. Attack 1 skill. It is here, which one is this clicked? Was this one, I think. Of course, we connect it to our pressed here, the keybind which we just made. And yeah, so you can see in this case scenario, let's put this one back fast. Here we are just calling a function. It's very easy, and that's it. And let's test this, compile, save, and I start the game. I press O, and yeah, it seems it works. And let's walk and see what happens if I walk. Yeah, it works. It works, and it's much easier. So, but there is another problem. What could be this problem be? What is if I want to make something with a duration, which means you can't click. Of course you can click all time, but normally you would not click on, you click one time, and the duration is we have to implement this here in the logic instead of clicking all time. So how we do this? One version is, again, now the tick makes a little bit more sense when we want to make a duration, because duration means update, update, update. For example, this trace, update 1, update 2, update 3. And let me show what I mean with that so that you can visualize that. For example, I have this other attack. You can see I'm making here a spin, right? And the spin here takes 1, 2, let's count, 1, 2 seconds. And in this 2 seconds, I want perhaps perform 3 attacks. So how I'm going to do this? Of course, you can press 3 times 000, but this is not the case. Normally, what you do is press 1 time, and the attacks we have to implement now. All right, here we could use, okay, the tick is updating every frame. We can even set the tick frame rate. So if I want, I can go here to class defaults. Select the tick, or no, it is class defaults where it's, let me see where it is. It's, you write tick, and there should be a tick interval here that is in class defaults here on top, right tick. Then it says here tick interval, and you can set the tick interval to calculate a duration, but we are using again the tick. The duration is limiting the frame, so it is not firing in 1 second 20 or 30 times. It depends on the frame, how many frames you have, or 60 frames 60 times in a second. So here you can set it, but there is again an alternative for tick. Like I said, we want to try to avoid tick. And this alternative we already know. We have covered this one in this video. What is the alternative to a tick? I hope you know it. It is timer. So instead of tick, we can use a timer. And this timer implementation I won't show you too, but in the next video, because that needs again, because normally we know it, but I won't show you how we can use the timer to implement, for example, this spin attack and calculate a little bit. Don't worry when I say calculate with math, you need elementary math, which is plus multiplication, and if you can do that, that's fine. That is the math which we need. And the result will be something like that, we start a timer, and like I said, we already talked about the timer, and we have just to calculate how to use the timer conditions, how we trace this one. And yeah, perhaps I don't have to do this, but I still make it. Even we have covered this just to show you how we can make the skill duration, which is also very interesting. And this in the next video. So if you have any questions like old time, write in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye, good luck, and like old time, have fun and never give up.